General Khomotso Phahlane. Good evening, Commissioner, and thank you so much for joining us. Now, Commissioner, why the sudden change from annual to quarterly?
We have decided to review our position, which enabled us to approach Cabinet, and Cabinet has accordingly taken a decision that we could do the announcement of the crime statistics on a quarterly basis compared to the situation before, where we were announcing on an annual basis. The most important thing we want to achieve is to ensure that the communities and the nation gets informed of what we are doing as the South African Police Service, but it should also enable us to determine operations to counter what will be considered to be a deviation from where we want to be. But it is also important that we instill confidence in the public and generate their support, because the fight against crime will never win with the police being on their own. You therefore need a much more informed community as to what the crime situation is in the country, and if we were to be achieving the goals and targets that we would have set ourselves on a quarterly basis, will make such visible to the nation.
Now, will this in any way shift or assist in the curbing of crime? Yes.
Firstly, let's understand that as the police, we have got access to crime statistics or crime trends on a day-to-day basis, because we extract such from our systems, and that informs the operations and the strategies that we will implement. Now, the release of the crime stats on a quarterly basis, which is a shorter interval than the annual, will keep the communities informed in the spirit of being transparent and being able to communicate the successes of government in the fight against crime.
Now, with the fight against crime, the quarterly report, will it have an impact on decisions taken with regards to crime fighting measures?
It will obviously have an impact, because at the end of a quarter you will have a picture which is telling us whether we are winning the crime. For example, in the case of contact crimes, are those kind of crimes on the increase or on the decrease? If they are on an increase, they will require from us to readjust our strategies and approach to get to where we want to be, which is the reduction of the incidence of crime in the country. And it will also enable our communities to be much more informed of what the crime trends are in the country, what the challenges are, and in which areas do we as the South African Police Service require much more effort and resources to be channeled in dealing with the scourge of crime.
Now, just speaking of the scourge of crime and communities at large, and the relationship between communities and the South African Police Service, will this help in building a bridge to ensure that communities work hand in hand with police in dealing with crime that is currently taking place in most communities?
Together with the Minister of Police, we have advanced a back-to-basics approach to policing. One of the characteristics of our back-to-basics approach was improving visibility, making sure that we are all over in our communities, making our communities accessible to policing. And we had also advanced the need to ensure community active participation in the fight against crime. So this move, or the step that we have taken, should go a long way in ensuring that communities are part and parcel of our fight against crime.
How has the reaction been from communities? Has this filtered through to communities, and what sort of time frames are we looking at?
Well, this announcement was made today by the minister in the presidency. The nation would only have got access to that decision today. But we do know that it has always been a call from various quarters of our society wanting the crime statistics to be released on a more frequent basis, which decision we have now taken. And the first annual crime statistics will be made known somewhere around July, following the processing thereof in consultation with Stats SA, and we will from there onwards on a quarterly basis release the quarterly picture in as far as the crime situation in the country. And we are confident that we will do our country proud because of the energy and the focus and the resources that government has channeled in the fight against crime.
Now, Commissioner, Minister of the Presidency Jeff Radebe spoke of a comprehensive annual report which will reflect changes to the statistics. What does that really mean in layman's terms?
In 2001, Cabinet took a decision, which decision made us to only announce the crime statistics once a year. So the financial year ends the 31st of March every year. Ordinarily, we'll be announcing the crime statistics of that financial year in September, which is 3 quarters into the new financial year. The decision taken ensures that we release the crime stats on a quarterly basis. We are now nearing the end of the first quarter of the 2016-17 financial year. In July, or at least 6 weeks from the end of the quarter, we will be in a position to pronounce on what the crime picture in the country looks like in as far as this first quarter is concerned. We will also announce the annual picture, in other words, of the entire 2015-16 financial year, which will tell whether the police and government are making progress in ensuring that we reduce the incidence of crime in the country.
Now, I know, Commissioner, you may not be able to go into much detail with regards to the stats coming up in July, but just an overall look at this year's statistics thus far. Where are we standing? Is it looking good? Are we sort of balanced in the middle? Where are we standing exactly?
Yeah, all I can say in short is that we will communicate to the nation a good story.
A good story.
We have a good story that the nation will be privy to come July. We really appreciate the cooperation and the support of the general public in ensuring that we do the incidents of crime a serious blow. And I am much more confident that we will do well come the end of this first quarter. As I said, the fight against crime is never going to be the sole responsibility of the South African Police Service. Me and you have got a serious role to play in that regard. And if we work together, we will reduce crime in the country, and we will contribute greatly to the economic growth and development in our country.
Now, Commissioner, just by mentioning that working together, we always say working together with the police as communities. What does that really entail? And what are the outcomes? Are information given by communities? Do they come out positively? Are arrests made? How does it really generally work?
Today I hosted Agri SA, for example, which is a sector of our community. They have got a constituency. They have got issues that they are raising with us in as far as the incidents of crime. What was great out of today's engagement was they were not only raising issues, but they will, for example, make some recommendations in how we could go about in dealing with crimes, for example, around the farms and small holdings. In that area, we are challenged with crimes which affects the farmers and the farm workers. And most importantly is to know that when you talk about farmers and farm workers, you talk about all races and gender. It's not only white people or black people that are affected. So that signals the intention of the South African Police Service to work together with communities from various sectors. And we were able to commit ourselves to work together. Earlier last month and in this week, I had an engagement with AfriForum, which is also talking more about pulling resources together. I had, for example, an engagement with the Santago on the incidents of crime in that particular area, in what their role could be in ensuring that we kept the incidents of crime. And we have got community policing forums at station level where communities are to be participating. Yes, information sharing is very critical, because if we were to talk about the prevention of crime, you need information. If you were to talk about the investigation of crime, you need information which will reveal those who intend to commit crime or those that are involved in the commission of crime. Over these few months, we have seen us being successful, for example, in taking away illegal firearms from the streets of our country.
Now, Commissioner, let's speak about your incident. You were involved in an incident that was all over the media, and I see there's a bit of bandaging on your hand. Can you just tell us exactly what happened, if you're able to talk about it, and just exactly what happened and how you managed to curb a situation?
Well, I'm grateful to be here, to be able to talk about it. But it's a situation in which I found myself in, where two armed men, both wearing balaclavas, rocked up at the spa, and both of them pointing firearms at me. And I can only remember two words which they have said. One I'm not going to mention because it's a swear word. The second one was, "We are going to kill you." I managed to wrestle with them, overpower them until they were out of that facility. They still fired a shot. The shot went to the ground, and they fled in a vehicle. But I'm grateful that with what we were able to do on the day, no one was hurt. Nothing was taken away from that facility. And I realized how important it is that we continue to do what we said we are going to be doing as the South African Police Service, going back to basics, being alert, being prepared for action. And that was translated into action on Sunday. And I'm very grateful that we can say that we were able to avert a situation which could have been dire. Out of that situation, there are some lessons. One of those is to say, as communities, we have we have departed from what we ordinarily would do. You know, people are now minding their own business. In that situation, the people who were in the spa were screaming for help, but no one came. It was a question of you are on your own. So I can just plead with everyone that we must unite because the criminals are outnumbered in society. They are a fraction. So if we get closer to each other, beginning to understand what is happening in your neighbor, if there is a call for help, we must come to the party to make sure that we kept the incidents of crime. But I'm very grateful that one came out of that situation without injuries. My fingers, it's more from you know, the marks that the lacerations from the scaffold, and I realized that it will take us a long way in ensuring that we defeat criminals. And without doubt, there is commitment from members of the South African Police Service to do more. All we want is the support of our communities, the active participation of everyone, and we will make our country proud.
Now, Commissioner, any arrests made, any information with regards to those robbers who...
Well, we did not effect an arrest at this stage, but I'm very grateful that they used a firearm, that they left trace on that particular crime scene. We have got forensic capability. It is going to make us to get to them. They may not have been arrested yesterday or today, but they are never going to escape justice forever. We are definitely going to find them. So what they have tried is going to haunt them forever, because there is definitely work which colleagues are doing that I'm very grateful of. Thorough investigation is being done. Just today I was getting news from the investigators, particularly in the forensic space, on the work that we have processed, the results that we already have. So it's a matter of time that they will be made to answer for their attempts.
Actions. Commissioner, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to having you back here after the release of the stats, the report, which is later in the year, and we hope to get more information and have another discussion going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was Acting Police Commissioner General Khomotso Phahlane.